then, you know, sometimes there are hard choices that need to be made.
This question is from for all of you guys. Do you guys have any programs to educate these people, these parents, that what's happening to them might not be, you know, lawful, like legal?
Sure.
Because half these people, they might not even know what's happening to them. They just accept their inferior status. So.
Yeah. No, I can actually, you know, so, you know, I'm in New Orleans right now working with both the Vietnamese and Latino community in Orleans Parish, which is east of Orleans. And the biggest part of our work before we take anything to court is doing know your rights trainings. Because you're exactly right. Most individuals don't know to what extent that they have rights. That their child has a right to be placed in ESL, or that they have a right, you know, a lot of bilingual parents or parents who are non-native English speakers, they get report cards that are in English. And so they have no idea what's going on. I've had multiple stories of students who've been at parent-teacher conferences with their parents, and the students have admitted to me, they're like, yeah, if I got like a C or a D, I just tell my mom, like, I'll just interpret something that's like sounds better from the teacher, you know, and that's problematic because the student shouldn't be placed in that position. The parents should be finding out exactly what's going on, and the school should be doing something to facilitate that. And so, you know, a large part of our work, like across the board for all three organizations, is providing reports, doing know your rights trainings, and educating the public about it. Because there's only so many times we can do litigation and take cases, and I can tell you right now, like a lot of civil rights lawyering is just not in the courtroom. A lot of it is out in the community. A lot of it is working with a variety of public officials and different types of stakeholders to get things done, and the community is number one.
I have a question regarding the papers. Can colleges ask you for your papers or no?
Is it illegal for college? Some colleges do not ask about status, but they may ask. But there are secondary ways in which, you know, they can kind of question that. They ask you to provide a social security number. Mm-hmm. You know, you need to have legal status and or be a citizen or legal permanent residence in order to have a social security number. So, but if you don't have a social security number, you know, if you leave that blank, will they deny admission to you? There are certain states, as part of this anti-immigrant backlash, that have places like Georgia and North Carolina and others. Alabama is one of those that kind of said, like, if you're undocumented, you're not eligible to attend any university within our state, or any public university within our state. Here in New York, you know, the CUNY SUNY system basically does not, does not discriminate on the basis of status, that you're eligible to attend public colleges like CUNY and SUNY here and be eligible for in-state tuition rate. There's only, I think now, 11 states. Connecticut passed last year. There are now 11 states, so the access is, you know, trying to have, even if you're undocumented, that you be deemed a resident of that state and eligible to apply for in-state tuition rates. Because if you're not deemed, because you don't have a social security number, if you're not deemed an in-state tuition rate, then you're charged an out-of-state tuition rate, which is like, you know, kind of could be 300% more there. The other big issue that you see nowadays is what I'm sure you've heard about, the DREAM Act, or Dreamers. Again, folks that, again, even access to you know, not only college, but post-secondary education, higher education, and then trying to have an opportunity to have kind of like legal, you know, an opportunity to try to legalize their status. So there are states that try, here in New York, there's a big movement in terms of having New York not only permit you, undocumented students, to try to be eligible for in-state tuition, but that you would have access to financial aid and scholarships, because for many immigrant students, undocumented students, you know, even at CUNY in-state tuition rates, it's still expensive, and if you have families, or you have obligations at home, you have to work, and so that opportunity to be eligible for New York State tuition assistance or financial aid or scholarships. I take it, Thomas, I think we'll also have to go, so why don't we say